Hey, what is our opening?
Welcome back to the Average Joe Daily Show.
The Average Joe Daily Show.
Right.
All right.
So you're just joining us here. I'm Subhan Pantai.
I'm Sean Hill.
And today at the Average Joe Daily Show, we're gonna fill your head with some information, and hopefully we'll get a lot of interactions and communications from you guys during the process.
But the idea is basically we're not organized at all.
We're not organized. We're not journalists. We're not official. And those of you that are joining that are not from Maine, we are in Maine, a beautiful land that is a lot of the areas we're not allowed to see the beauty at the time, but. That's not why we're here today, is it?
It's not why we're here today.
Technical stuff going on there.
That's right. See, I got to get this. This is how unorganized we are. I forgot to turn this on, which is our recording device for our voice. So we're running multiple cameras in front of us and trying to get multiple sound sources, just in case one thing has a technical issue. We can kind of recover something from.
Right. Hey, thank you for joining us, Michelle. She's a Brewer City Council woman, and she got elected at the same time I got elected.
Oh yeah, I think I was there watching. I was doing photography when you guys were debating.
Oh right, that was
the debate.
That's right. That was during the what was that called? Meet the candidates type of night.
Yes. Yeah, I was there doing photography at that.
Yep. And video.
And video.
Yeah,
that's right.
It was a good time.
So, if you don't know who I am, I'm Sean Hill. I'm a small business owner in Maine, and the whole idea of this was to basically just kind of give our thoughts, and ask the thoughts of the people that were around us in our community, what they're doing, what they're thinking,
during this COVID-19 pandemic. How are you guys getting by? And I'm Subhan Pantai. I own Memory Maker Photography. I do commercial and event photography. We also rent out photo booths. But we wanted to get together as business owners and talk about how our business is reacting to what's going on. And today there's definitely some news we want to share that's already out there. If you haven't heard it already, we're going to discuss some of it. We're not going to get too deep into it, but we recommend that you will interact and share some of your thoughts and ideas with that too. And I hear myself chatting in the background. What's going on there?
Just switching over,
Already.
Doing the technical stuff. So what was it? Yesterday I read an article that said that today the mandate to wear a mask whenever social distancing is not possible kind of went into effect as far as enforcement. So I was out once today just checking it out. Seeing, just kind of seeing who was wearing a mask.
Right. How the public was reacting.
Yes,
to the
how
news.
The public was reacting. So I'm kind of interested to hear from other people. Are you going to wear a mask, or are you going to follow this? The idea of this is not to start something and not to make a debate.
Yeah, no, we don't want to talk about the politics of anything on the show. We're basically getting true, real life feedback from everyone without getting too political about things.
But I'm curious.
Yes, we're curious about what our friends and family in our local community think about some of these topics. But before we go too far, I want to point out the shirts that we're wearing.
Yes, look at this. First of all, you can see the logo behind us. This happened yesterday.
During the show.
That Kevin
Morneau, awesome graphic designer. He and his wife also own a great spa in Brewer, Seminova. Seminova, I think that's what it is. My wife always has to correct me about this. But he designed the shirt and made the shirt, dropped it off the same day the show was airing, and of course we're wearing it today.
Yes. So Kevin,
thank you.
Yes, Kevin, thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
Awesome. This is cool. I did add some hair on my head because this is bald.
Yes, this is bald here.
So I put a little receding hairline kind of hair thing on there.
Yeah, I have the baseball cap on. It does say Star Wars, so for copyright stuff or whatever licensing, we might have to change what kind of hat I wear. But anyways, it's been the first show was a good show. I know that tonight we're running up against the regular news, the local news, which is happening at 5:00 in about 15 minutes. But it looks like 9 people have joined us right now.
Yeah, I had Travis in and out.
Novo. Sorry, Soma Novo. Thank you, honey. Sorry, I got the name wrong. It's the name of the spa that Kevin and his wife owns.
Yes.
Right now, they're open for business for massage services. So if you have a kink in your back, you need a little loosening up. A lot of this tension and what's going on is happening around you is stressing you out a little bit, and you need to relax. Give them a call.
Get over there.
Get a massage.
Stephen Wong just joined us, and he asked, "Where is Joe?"
Where's Joe?
Where's Joe from the Average Joe Daily Show?
You know what? We are the average Joe. We are the average Joe. We don't have a little. I don't know. We don't have any like major expertise. We're not major celebrities. We're just the average Joe with average ideas. But some of our ideas are a little off.
Yeah. And Christopher just joined us. You guys are not 6 feet apart. Shame, shame, ha ha.
Shame. I'm not shameful. I'm sorry.
So you'll know if you watch the video that we posted yesterday. We had a physical partition between us.
It was a drywall, sheetrock.
It was a piece of sheetrock between us.
And it was pretty.
It was annoying. I felt unnecessary, but we did it to demonstrate or to put on a show that we were trying to follow protocols. But you can't have an organic conversation if you're wearing a mask or if you've got a partition between you.
Right.
So it made it very difficult. So this was a decision.
Right. And Sean and I have been hanging out with each other for a very long time.
Yeah.
We're buddies, so we just hang out. Okay. Yeah. So we're around each other all the time already before this all happened, and we really didn't change that.
I just realized how skinny I look. Like I'm looking at the feet.
You don't look skinny. You are skinny.
Holy cow! Like I need to eat a sandwich or something. I'm looking at that, like the shirt and everything.
Have some sticky rice. Oh yeah. Man, I think there's some news that's going on besides us, but I'm glad that we have. I'm glad that we have people joining us. Hey, Dave Rollins, thanks for joining us tonight. I know he has a pretty successful Twitch and Facebook Live channel as well, so it's nice to see him join us. He does all the Winter House Gaming.
Oh, Winter House Gaming. Yeah. How are you guys doing
over
there? Are you planning on opening up? Who has a business that's planning on opening, say, Monday? Who's going to open and allow the public to come in? Right.
So I went and I actually just from browsing social media, I was able to see a few businesses that were opening up already. Places like Martin's. Yeah. Martin's is opening up, which is awesome because I love my daughter's favorite section in Martin's is the furniture section. She likes to try out.
I was going to say the tool section to get nuts and bolts, tools, construction.
She can hang out in the furniture department like the entire visit to Martin's. She has to lay in every bed. It's like, Dad, let's check this one out. And then we got to sit on every couch. Yep. Hey, what do you think about this one?
I like when they put all the recliners in the rows.
Oh, yeah.
And then you could just bounce from recliner to recliner and just kind of hang out and just sit in them.
I have to say, I was really excited when they had the massage chairs there.
Ooh.
And I wanted one so bad. My wife's like, that's not going to fit in the house. I said, I'll make it fit. I was like, I'll take it apart, make it fit somehow. But it's one of those like really fancy ones. It's normally like $6,000-$7,000. But they lowered the price because it's Martin's. And it's zero gravity, cradles you and stuff like that. And a friend of mine picked up one, and I knew what kind of massage chair it was. I'm like, oh, I have to try that. And it was amazing.
I'd have one if somebody gave one to me. But I'm not. There's no way I'm going to buy one of those things.
I'd buy one because we spend money on massage therapists, and they're really good. But sometimes I want it in the middle of the night or early in the morning, and I just want to fall asleep afterwards.
Yep.
And just be left alone.
Yep. I just want to throw in here that Christopher, is it Rathbun? Christopher Rathbun?
Mm-hmm.
Hopefully I'm pronouncing that right. He says he will continue to do live stream concerts until everything is open.
Awesome.
Folks still need live entertainment even if it's through the net.
Got it.
Good for you, man.
Awesome.
Yeah, keep it going.
So Dave Rollins says everything we do is on the internet, so they're always open. So thanks for the shout out, he said. Patricia Hateman, watching from Hamden, says we are retired, so no business to open. Actually, life is pretty much the same, just a bit more quiet. And they're getting visits by Zoom. So they're visiting people using internet,
Yep, some streaming
services, yeah.
Connecting that way. Nice. Just a matter of like, I wanna hear like, okay, who's got a big location that normally people come into?
Well, I know that Black Bear Inn just posted on their Facebook fan page this afternoon that they are open. They have been serving, say, essential employees.
Yep.
But now they're open. It seems like they just announced that would be cool. So I'm happy for her to have that open again. And Herman Meadows Golf Course, they open. It's a bad day to be open because it's soupy out there.
Yeah, raining.
But it's exciting to see some of these businesses opening up.
Yeah, that's your stress relief to get out on the golf course.
So if you guys know of a business that is open, please let us know. We'd like to do a shout out and let people know. So I'm going to name some restaurants that we've been to lately that are open. They're doing curbside or takeout.
Yep.
I know we got several orders from Oriental Jade. So Lillian at Oriental Jade, they're still cranking out a lot of meals out there, which we're happy to go and grab a few meals the past couple of weeks.
Mm-hmm.
And also, I'm going to name a bunch of Asian places because that's the food I like to eat. So I got some sushi at Yoshi's. It's delicious.
They're just doing like takeout?
Doing takeout, yeah. Doing takeout. And my wife loves Ruby Tuesday, so they're doing curbside and stuff like that as well. Of course, drive-through at Chick-fil-A, we've been doing that. My daughter can't stop her, so we're doing McDonald's.
We got a Pat's Pizza the other day.
Oh, yeah?
Got pizza, call ahead, drive up, they bring it right to your car.
Yeah, I don't know if we had fresh pizza from anybody, but those are the places. And Chipotle. I got a nice big burrito from Chipotle last night, and I loved it. It was a good, like, put you to sleep kind of meal because it was so big.
So, it's kind of, you're still kind of eating out.
Well, see, we're eating, part of the reasons why we're eating out a little extra somewhat.
Just to support
the local businesses. We know friends that are running some of these restaurants that need to, I know that Casca is still open.
Oh, yeah.
And I know a good friend there that's running that business. So we like to support those we know as much as possible. I know the my goodness, that taco place right by my house. What's the name of that taco place?
Is a taco place right by your house?
Yes, there's a taco place by my house. Right.
I did not know.
So they're right across the street from Humble Restaurant. They used to be the Taco Shack.
I don't know. Who knows the name of this place? That's over on.
I'm horrible. We even got like a gift certificate
South
there.
Main Street, past Chimbro.
Yeah. So my internet's frozen here, so I'm not getting any more feeds of questions and interactions.
Oh no, it's still connected. It
says it's connected.
Yeah. Refresh the page.
Yeah, I'm gonna refresh now.
Lots of wonderful technical stuff.
Exciting.
Yeah. Sing it for us.
So exciting to me.
Yeah. So business is opening up. I know.
Fresh.
One of my clients in Hamden is opening tomorrow. Steve Morrill, he's awesome. He's a great guy.
Awesome.
He does accounting out there. If you're one of his clients, he's going to be opening his doors Monday. And I can't wait to hear from some of my other clients to see how they're doing and how they're going to be handling.
Right. I did notice that studio whatever it is. Man, I know it's one of my buddies that owns a hair salon. She opened up recently. I think it's Angie's
hair salon.
No, Angie's her name, the owner's name.
Oh, I thought it was.
No. It's it's the name of her hair studio is Studio. It was just on Facebook, but my page is frozen, so I can't get that info.
You might have to do the. Okay, if you have something lock up on you in Windows,
Control Alt
Delete. Bring up the task manager.
Control Delete.
Control the Alt key and delete.
Oh, Control. Also well known as a 3-finger salute.
Yes. Bring up task manager. Look for the process that is causing the issue, and then kill it. End the task.
End the task.
Little tech tip.
So what am I choosing here? There's a whole lot of background stuff.
Yeah, I could choose Chrome, and then just
end task. Alrighty. Well, there's a little tech tip there.
Yeah, and on Mac, I think it's Control Command Escape. And
then
you get force quit. And then you can force quit something in there.
Yeah, I know.
Tech tip for the day. I
know what to do on a Mac. I forgot what to do on a little Windows system here.
Yeah. So I give him the flaky laptop because I needed the good laptop to hook to the TV.
Oh, the toggle stand is Pepinos.
Pepinos.
I knew my wife would know the answer to that one.
Awesome.
And Kevin says killer shirts.
Look at that. Wonder where these came from.
Pretty
nice.
Cool. Look at that. See, look. Lean back like that.
If I do that, that's kind of skinny.
That's the pose right there.
All right. So
okay.
What else we got for news? Like
Oh yeah, you started off talking about the face coverings.
The mask mandate that's being enforced. Okay,
is it what it's called? What's the official name?
I'll bring it up.
Okay,
it's
so to me it's a little strange. I mean I understand being near people to wear the mask. But to mandate it, what was it mandated before? This is the first time.
I think it was mandated before, but then the police are enforcing it today. So today was one of the first days the police had to deal with possibly or potentially enforcing it or educating the public as they ran into people that were not social distancing.
So to me, at first it sounded strange because we've been going weeks without it, being a problem. Is it being and I understand it being enforced if there's more people getting sick because of it, but aren't we seeing numbers go down?
I don't know. I'm kind of mixed on this.
Okay.
I don't like. For me, it's not a matter of like, hey, this is what I think you should do. For me, we all think about these things. What's the implications of not wearing a mask? You want to be responsible. You want to like not cause illness to somebody else, but then there's that thought in your head about at what point do I start losing my rights and my freedoms to be able to just walk around and not get told a certain thing. But at the same time, you're part of the community and you got to be responsible.
Yeah, so we want to be responsible. We definitely want to be responsible community members, but it's really tough when rules change on you and you gotta totally change how you think of things. So Paul Buser joined and he says, so that load is quote, asterisk quote, comma 8, comma 1 on his Commodore 64.
What? Oh, he to kill a process?
Yeah.
On his Commodore 64? So I didn't even know that command would exist on a Commodore 64.
So I want to give a shout out also to Paul. Paul runs Paul's R2D2. He also runs, oh my goodness, Where Nerdy's Cool, Facebook fan page. He also has a YouTube channel, and he does really cool things. So Paul has his R2 unit. He's working on a BBA. He does a lot of 3D printing. He actually works with one of the largest 3D printers in the world at the University of Maine. And he also does a lot of cosplay. He well known for cosplaying The Dark Knight of Bangor, which is Batman. And I photographed him many times with that. And lately he has been doing something really cool. So have you seen this? The 3D printed little bind things for face masks for.
Oh, the ear savers.
Yeah, ear savers.
I think I saw Paul post something about ear savers.
So Paul is printing those out, and all he's doing is he's charging for the raw materials. That's it to produce it, and then he's giving it to whoever that needs it to take care of their health.
Yep. So I'm assuming printing those out of what TPA plastic, the rubbery.
That's foreign language to me. I don't know anything about 3D printing.
So I sold my 3D printer, I had a couple of them a couple of years ago, and I just sold them off with all my plastics and stuff.
So I wanted to say thank you, Paul, for doing a great service to the community, and keep up the good work. So I'll spread that information around as much as I can because you are great. My wife actually just picked up some ear savers from him as well, so that's cool.
Yeah, I wanted to try one of those. I wanted to see, because some of the masks are pretty tight. And if we continue to have to wear face masks in tight social situations, then that might become something.
I was going to talk to you about that, but I think I can save that for another time. We may or may not share on the show first because I don't want to gotta jump the gun in releasing, and my wife knows that I have a tendency to do so. So my wife also knows that we can get off topic a little bit. So she's gonna
rein you in.
She's gonna rein us in and help us share different aspects of our show, different not aspects but different points of views because it's just a couple guys, a couple average Joes here. So sometimes we like to bounce some ideas off other people as well. That's why we're here hey, engage with us, please.
Yeah, I'm still looking for that article on the mask.
You are?
It was on WABI TV 5's website. They were talking about how the police had to enforce the mask today.
Okay. So do you want to move on to health and maybe bounce back when we find that article? Or
yeah, because I'm always curious what people are doing. I asked this yesterday, what are you doing to stay fit while you're stuck at home? Because the gyms are all closed. If you were a gym rat, I'm a gym rat.
Yeah.
And
you are.
I'm pretty regimental about being at the gym at least 2-3 times a week.
Yeah.
Used to be when I was younger, I'd be at the gym 5 days a week, because you can recover by sleeping, and then your body is completely healed and ready to go again.
Miss those days.
But now that I'm older, I have to skip a couple of days in between the gym time.
In my case, I skip probably a month,
couple months
before in between each workout.
Yeah, so when the gym's closed, I was devastated. So I immediately ran out and I was like, oh man, got to get some workout equipment for the house. But everyone else in the state of Maine also had that same idea. And all the weight, dumbbells, weight plates, all that stuff was selling out.
I just want to let you know I'm not one of those people that thought of that.
You didn't go out and hoard
No, I didn't do that.
Exercise equipment?
Nope.
Holy cow. Yeah, so I ended up working on a basement to get it all set up to make it like a workout studio. And this all unfolded, so it's getting used now. But I'm using like weights and stuff I got from Dick's Sporting Goods, and I'm just trying to keep it going. But there's definitely a difference. If you're in the gym, there's this like social pressure to push more, to push yourself more.
So we were having discussion at the Bangor Region Chamber of Commerce had a business after hours yesterday for about an hour, and we chatted about this, and we talked about how people feed off each other's energy.
Yeah.
And in live, for instance, one person said she had a marathon of meetings on Zoom, and she was drained by the end of the day. But when she did that face to face in person, she's energized.
Yeah, you get pumped up.
You get pumped up.
Yeah,
and it's quite a difference when you're at home sitting in front of the screen doing this.
It is quite a difference, and I kind of want to twist this into one of the reasons why it's so important to get everybody back working in Maine. And this is kind of how I feel. I don't know how a lot of other people feel, but this goes along with that what you just said. a lot of times when I work and I accomplish a project or a task for work, I feel accomplished. And that pumps me up. And I can do all kinds of other things during the day. But when you're stuck home and you're not getting that feeling of accomplishment, you know, from your work, from your career, from whatever you do to make a living, sometimes you don't feel that you've earned the right to relax.
Yeah.
So you're always thinking, you're always like burdening your mind with thoughts of, man, what am I going to do? What am I going to do? What am I going to do?
So what do you feel? Because sometimes I feel guilty for relaxing.
Yes, you feel guilty if you didn't accomplish something that either earned you money or got you ahead somehow with your business aspects, or, you know, like really accomplish some project that, you know, was, you know, something that you've been working on for a while.
Right. Yeah. I mean, that sense of accomplishment really helps drive you to move forward. And when you don't have that same goal that you need to accomplish, or like a magazine cover shoot that I have to do, or another plane I have to photograph at CNL, I need to make it look a certain way. When I don't accomplish that, I don't get energized to make my life better. I become a slob.
Or you do kind of lose your drive a little bit.
I lose my drive.
Yeah, so I think it's important that people get back to work and get some of that drive. I just wanted to mention Amanda Burke joined us, and she said, Tim Cotton said they weren't really going to enforce the masks on the Bangor PD Facebook page. So apparently they announced that they weren't going to enforce it.
Okay.
And she also said that Sean used to be young. That was reading glasses, I assume. Pre-reading. I thought it said pretty.
Pretty?
Because I can't see because I'm old now. Yes, I used to be young. What happened to me?
Yes.
Dang age.
So I'm getting from the women around me talking about walking more. So walking more to stay healthy. I know my wife has been able to lose weight through this, and I'm gaining weight through this.
Is she going out and walking and you're staying home?
Yeah, pretty much.
Snacking. Yeah, I've seen a lot of people out walking dogs. Me and my girlfriend have been out walking quite a bit. We've been hiking a lot, going out to different areas. We were in Stonington the other day. We went out to this coastal trail.
Yeah.
On the coast, it was beautiful.
So
Cutler, Maine.
Ooh. So I still need to go to some of those places with my wife. I think we were planning to go somewhere Sunday just to get a breather. The weather has been horrible, off and on, intermittent. So it's really hard to plan days a little bit. So we're hoping sometime this weekend we'll be able to head out and enjoy the fresh air. And that being said, we can lead over to the outdoors.
Yes, the outdoors, because I mean. That kind of leads into it because you're getting out. What can you do? You can't go in and exercise.
Right.
You got to go out to exercise and stay at least 6 feet away from everybody else, unless they're part of your little tribe that you hang out with. So yeah, like what are you doing? Are you hiking? Are you visiting places that are open? What is open?
What is open? Yeah, that's a good question. So those that are watching right now, what is open out there for hikes and bikes and like public spaces? I know that we had friends in the in the West Coast saying that they opened certain parts of the state for like public nature walks and stuff like that, but they close off the parking lot.
Yeah, like I know, I think in Acadia, for example, I think the Park Loop Road is closed, but some of the trails are still open, so you can go hike the trails. A lot of the well-known trails are open, so you can go hike them. Obviously, when you're out there, you just kind of like back off when somebody comes in.
Well, you guys definitely have gone hiking more than I have, so you would probably have a much better idea of what's available. And
so far everywhere we've gone, it's not a big deal.
Okay.
Park on the side of the road by the trailhead.
Can you name some of the places that you guys gone that's been open?
Yeah, the Seacoast Trail, or out in Cutler, and we've been out near Blue Hill, Mount Desert Island. Just all over the place. There's local places like in Holden, Bald Mountain. There's Chick Hill out in Eddington. There's all kinds of little spots that you can go and do small hikes. And then the bigger ones, obviously, you got to travel a little ways to the coast if you want a nice scenery, or a longer hike. So yeah, so far anywhere we've gone, it's not been an issue.
So Jeff Bandman chimed in and said the same thing. He said, you know what? He has a dog, and so he's been walking a whole lot more, and it helps that his dog needs to be walked every day.
Yeah, absolutely. It's like, I mean, I see everybody out there, and it's kind of cool to see, everybody outside, just like, I'm going to get out and walk and do my thing.
So, I was looking at some outdoors things to do, activities. So I haven't been able to do a whole lot of photo shoots, as you know. I'd like to see where it goes. I've sent my opinions and thoughts and ideas about some feedback. I think I received a letter. I think those business members of Bangor Region Chamber of Commerce may have received a survey to the governor to talk about how you feel about the reopening of Maine and the pacing and the timing of it. And I sent in some of my thoughts and ideas. A lot of my jobs I can do, almost 50% of my work, I don't have to be near people to do. I mean, I don't have to be right next to them. I can photograph people from a distance. But for those that really need to get out and use your camera, find a nature walk. Go out and photograph buildings, photograph plants, photograph animals.
If you can find the animals, because every trail that I've been on, you're lucky to see a squirrel.
Well, you would be.
Where are the animals in Maine?
I see squirrels everywhere. I don't know where. They're leaving the wilderness and actually probably coming to the city because someone just posted yesterday in the a social media group that a bear was in their yard.
No, those guys I don't care to run into on the trails.
And this is right in Brewer. So it's right in town.
I'm very happy I have not run into a bear on the trail.
So
what are you supposed to do when you run into a bear? Are you supposed to somebody mentioned you make them look bigger. I think my girlfriend mentioned her training was to take your backpack off and make yourself look big. Don't make eye contact, and maybe back away slowly.
Really?
Yeah, I'm not sure.
All the TV shows.
I'm not sure what the protocol is for when you.
Well,
meet
all
a
the
bear.
TV shows that I've watched, and also these nature challenges, like Alone and stuff like that. Every time they're in the woods and they think they hear bear or wild animals, what do? They talk a lot. They make human sounds. So supposedly human sounds will drive these wild animals away.
That would be interesting. We have any hunters out there that know what to,
Right. If you guys know what the proper procedure is to respond when you're face to face with a bear in the wilderness, please let us know.
Or even if you're walking a trail and there's one 10 feet.
So Michelle just mentioned there's bears all over Brewer. I'm like,
You can outrun them downhill. And if I trip, I'm done. If you trip, you're done. I thought about climbing a tree, but I hear they're
very good climbers. They're good climbers.
You're not going to get a ways. So I don't know. That'd be interesting to know.
So that's a good question to have answer because especially when we know we have bears in Brewer now.
But I mean, when I was in Carmel, I saw foxes and porcupines and every other thing, and it's so weird. I go out on the trails. Obviously, a lot of humans are traversing and trekking these trails, so maybe animals aren't hanging out in those areas.
So Kevin has a cool tip. He says just to run faster than the guy next to you.
Well, yeah. I've heard.
So I'm gone. I'm goner.
Always.
And you're skinny too, so he's not gonna want you. He's gonna want me.
Well, yeah. The object is to always bring a slower person with you.
Is that why you take me hiking everywhere?
Yep. So you can outrun them and leave that guy behind. Man. So in Star Trek, there was always those expendable characters in the red shirts.
Right.
The red shirts. Expendable characters.
So Brian Ross just joined us. He's cool. I think he started Quarantine Kitchen. I think they have over 6,000 members in their group already.
Man, why could not my quarantine fitness group catch on?
And some of the videos that you have on there and pictures are really cool. The rest, they don't have like direct recipes. Some of them do, about with their dishes. So this is the really great thing about this. I think this was mentioned. Deb Newman mentioned this in the Bangor Region Chamber of Commerce Business After Hours yesterday. Was that there's some ingenuity, some inventive ideas that have come out of this COVID-19 lockdown. Some good has come from it. I don't disagree with that at all. My wife shared this with me. Says, you know what, families are spending more time together. They're slowing down a little bit. They're not getting too distracted. But guess what? I'm still distracted. I am.
Well, yeah.
I have slowed down a little bit, but I'm still distracted because I think I have a problem sitting still.
I have a problem. I need help. You need an intervention?
I might.
But I bet a lot of ingenuity comes out. This is where ingenuity comes from, right? You have a problem that crops up and you got to work around it.
Yeah.
So how many people are morphing their businesses, morphing their way of life around this pandemic? And then how much of that will stay the way it is after? What is this?
Brian Ross, he says, bring a Swiss Army knife. If it chases you, stab yourself in the neck.
So basically commit suicide so you don't feel anything when it kills you?
I think that might be painful though if I stab myself in the neck. I think I'll risk it and
there's got to
box
be
the bear,
no way, dude. There was a movie I just watched and the guy got mauled by a bear. I can't remember the movie. Leonardo DiCaprio was in it.
Yeah.
And he had a shotgun or something and he shot the bear a couple times and it just messed him up. That just makes me not ever want to run into a bear.
Well, I think the best bear fight that I've seen in the movies one time was Legends of the Fall with Brad Pitt. He was out there. It's the Wild West and stuff like that. The West was just starting to grow westward at the time, and he was well connected with the land. And at the very end, he's just fighting with the bear, and he had a good death.
See, good death. No, sorry. It's not that. I don't want to give up the life for the little bear.
So photography is a good way to spend outside.
It is. Speaking of photography,
yes,
I want to know, because I was talking to Subban about this before we even started the Facebook Live thing. Because I'm always curious with tech and the phones, and everybody's got a camera phone now.
Yeah.
And the cameras in the phones are getting pretty good.
Right. Okay. Before you go any further, I just want to say something.
Go for it.
So what's the answer to this question? What is the best camera to have? Everyone will ask me this question. What's my answer? What's the best camera
whatever
to have?
You have in your hand.
Exactly. The best camera to have is the one that's the one that's on you.
Yeah.
Because
what's our slogan for that?
Just get the shot.
Just get the shot.
Just get the shot.
Don't worry about.
Don't forget about don't worry. Don't care. Don't think about f-stop, shutter speed, aperture. Just get the shot. All right, put it on auto if you have to. When that bear comes, you want to make sure you get a good shot before it kills you.
The mauling, the claw that's coming at you. Get that. That's
get the great shot. No one's gonna get that shot.
That's National Geographic cover material right there. That
right,
claw
and then you'll have the story to go along with it. Hey, the photographer died photographing this.
Yeah, we found his camera.
Right.
We found his camera.
All right, let's go back to the camera phones that you're talking about.
The camera phones, because everybody's got one. Everybody's doing. Better and great with their camera phones. So the camera phones are getting really good. And Samsung released their S20 Ultra that has like this 108 megapixel output for the camera. Yeah, it's got a pretty large sensor.
Holy.
1/1.33 size sensor. I want to know who's got one of those suckers. And if you have one of these Samsung S20 Ultras, take a couple of photos at the max resolution and upload them so we can see them.
Yes,
I want to see some of those photos.
So here's the other thing. If you have that camera and you want to upload those photos and you want it to be edited in a certain way, we are happy to do that for free, just for fun.
Goof off with it
and then send it back to you. And who knows, I might make a print for you and send it to you. So what's the camera? What's the camera we're talking about?
It's the Samsung S20 Ultra.
Samsung S20 Ultra. That's
Yeah.
the phone.
It's a new one they released because it's being touted as a good camera. 108 megapixel picture density, and also this hybrid optical zoom. So it should not lose a lot of detail when you zoom in, when you use the zoom lens.
All right.
So I wanna see some of the photos on that sucker.
So walking's good. My wife said yoga. Do some yoga.
Yoga.
But for outdoor activities, I'm thinking photography is a big one for me. And for me, photography and hiking kind of go together. I do photo walks. You know, when you're walking, you just see things, you stop, you take pictures. I think the best way to get some great brainstorming ideas is think of topics when you go out to shoot. For instance, one night we went and did a places of worship. So basically we went to churches and synagogues and photographed those. The other thing you could do is pick colors and say, okay, today we're just going to do red.
Yep.
Or we're going to do repeated lines. We're going to do curves. We're going to do whatever. Or shadows, you know, black and white.
Silhouettes of the buildings, those look awesome.
Yeah, so think about different things that you can do to keep you, busy in that way.
And I always like to promote some bettering of your skill sets.
Right.
So if there's something that you haven't been able to do because you haven't had time,
I
prefer not to binge watch Netflix or movies and stuff. I'll do it a little bit at night to, kind of relax the mind. But during the day, I'm like, what project can I get involved in?
I did that about the first week. I went and binge watched all the movies from the Marvel universe.
Oh yeah, I mean they're good.
They're good. It was fun, but I kind of got a little, I don't know. I felt like I was in a room where I didn't know if it was day or night. Yeah. Because I have black curtains that I put up in my office so I can watch it on a big projector screen and the surround sound and stuff like that.
And then when you're done, it's always like this reality slaps you in the face. Yeah. When whatever you're watching is over, it's like, oh, reality. Mm-hmm. I like to know that my reality is better than the fiction that I'm watching.
Right.
I'm gonna want to get to this project that I'm doing.
We forgot to cover something in the news.
What?
The UFO pictures from the military.
UFO pictures? I love UFO stuff.
So UFO videos.
I don't know this. What is this?
So UFO videos have been released by the military. And so they're official videos that...
like old stuff that's been taken out of the archives?
No, this is more recent stuff. They're in their jets and they're following them and targeting them. So they're using their targeting capabilities for their weaponry, basically, just so their camera.
Yeah, just so they can match
and track it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So they've released that and they admit that there's UFOs.
What? Yeah. So that series Ancient Aliens has been right all along.
Well,
I love that show, by the way.
I do watch Ancient Aliens. Well, the most recent one I've watched is Bigfoot Are Aliens. I just started watching that. Bigfoot Are Aliens. I've had Bigfoot experiences, dude.
They've kind of like transported in, slapped you around, and then transported away?
They have ability to disappear and blend in with the background, just like Predator.
See, I would assume that aliens are just messing with us.
Yeah,
if there's a race that's so far ahead of us that we don't recognize their technology, wouldn't they want to just like mess with you? Like,
ooh,
hey.
that.
Let's project this and see what they do.
I bet you they are playing with us. But we can talk about aliens some more in other episodes because it's a never-ending story.
It is a never-ending story. I love it.
But Brian Ross just mentioned he's gonna do a talk on his Facebook group where he's gonna talk about it or shoot video about it about mushroom foraging, which is coming up.
Mushroom foraging?
Yeah, in the woods. My mother used to forage through the woods of Maine all the time, so she would harvest fiddleheads, mushrooms, and then we'll do berries, and it was
all wild
stuff grown in the forest. And she was like the master of foraging, and we would have a great time eating, and with 6 kids in the household growing up. And an in-law and 2 grandkids all in one household. We were always needing extra food.
And she obviously knew what mushrooms to get.
Oh yeah, she did.
Because I would not recognize any mushroom, and it'd be my luck. I'd get one really high in psilocybin or whatever.
There is an app. I'm pretty sure. I'm sure Brian Ross knows about this. There is an app that you can actually photograph a plant
and identify it,
and it will identify it for you to see if it's edible or not.
I'm one of those people that if you drop me off in the woods, I would die. Like the first day, I would be dead.
That's
I would not survive.
This tough guy here hates insects.
I don't like insects, and I'm not educated enough about nature to survive. So, yeah.
I have to admit, I don't like insects, but I would trade off. I would get bothered by insects just so I can be out in nature because I love nature that much. I
mean, I'll put the gear on, like the nets and stuff, and deal with it. But
yeah,
I don't want to sit there and let them bite me.
Yeah, so so I want so that foraging for mushrooms, I think this is pretty cool. We can always talk about aliens. I love talking about aliens. So uplifting stories we want to end with.
Yeah, you said you had something on Mike Rowe.
Mike Rowe does a series called Returning a Favor Effect. It's read on Facebook. Actually, I think Facebook pays him to do it. And the most recent one was, I think, unicorns feeding the front line or whatever it is. I didn't read the entire story. I didn't listen to it, so I came very ill prepared. So we're not professionals here, guys, okay? But
by no means are we professionals whatsoever.
But he always has some really cool things. Look, screen froze again. This is great. This is terrific. Screen froze.
Yeah, you can look at my screen.
But I had more people watching on my screen. You have 3 people. I had like 9 people.
All right, Mike Rowe, what's he doing?
So he's always up to something good. But it just made me think of some of the things that we can be doing here locally. And that's the idea of returning a favor effect, is that you picked some of the things and the services to the community that people are setting a great example. For instance, there was a kid in New Hampshire that helped raise money so that the kids in school would always have fresh fruit and great nutritious meals to have for their lunches. And he would help fund that, and he would raise money. So he would do fundraisers to help that school always have enough food for every kid that wants it. Without needing to dish out money of their own to make that happen.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
So it's a great program. Check it out. Returning a Favor Effect. Mike Rowe's in it. From Dirty Jobs, and
nice.
I really, it's really uplifting, inspiring. So they encourage other community members to replicate what these guys are doing, and on top of that, he's also encouraging you to pick someone in your community that's done something wonderful. And guess what? They do a show about it. So they'll go to your town, do a show about it, and hopefully it'll catch on, be contagious, and other communities will do something similar.
Nice.
So,
and just before we go too,
yeah.
I didn't know this existed, but you know how Facebook groups pop up.
Oh yeah, that's right.
So we had Quarantine Karaoke popped out.
Right.
And that has been a super success.
Yeah.
Today I found a group that I did not know exist, and I showed it to Subhan.
Yeah.
It's called Bin Isolation Outing. And it's where people dress up and then they go take a picture of themselves by their trash can.
They cosplay near trash cans. And how many members are in this group?
It's over 1 million members.
Over 1 million members in this group. So they go outside and they dress up in cosplay. And what are some of the unique images have you seen already?
Well, it's just so various. There was one guy with a bunch of noodles on his back, like I don't know what he made.
Like a cape? Or like a collar?
Foam noodles.
Oh yeah.
They were springing out from his back. There was a guy that
you're on the screen. Okay, there you are.
Dressed up like just in different costumes. You see all these photos here.
So check it out. What's it called? Bin Isolation Outing.
Yeah, Bin Isolation Outing. There's just like just a huge variance of people.
So how many posts have you seen that just went up today?
Over 400 today.
Over 400 posts in one day from that group. So it's interesting that what people are doing in these times to fill their time.
Yes. What are you doing to fill your time?
What are you doing with your time? What are you doing to pass the times?
Take a photo of myself by my trash can.
Right. So I'm interested in finding out what you guys are doing in front of your
trash can.
in front of your trash can with your newfound time. And how's the shutdown treating you? And are you able to get to work? Are you back up in operation? Are you one of these businesses that are opening up? We want to give those businesses a shout out that are open.
Anybody who's opening.
Yep, and we want to give you a shout out because we want to go frequent you, and we want others to go and give you business so that you can recoup somewhat of what you've lost in the recent shutdown.
All right, and we'll get into like stimulus stuff the next time, and
right.
I don't want to hit that every time. It's kind of you watch the news.
It's overbearing.
It's like constantly.
It's like we've heard this already before. We can do it again, but we want this to be a positive, informative show. So remember, we're the Average Joe Daily Show.
Yep, and you had a something that you wanted to share.
I shared it with you. You can put it on the big screen if you want.
I think I can get that.
So some people that don't play it, okay, wait until I finish what I'm going to say. Okay. So those that know me also know that I'm involved in the Comic-Con community. I'm a little bit of a geek. I love Star Wars, as you can tell by the hat. The thing is, I'm not a Star Wars geek trivia. I'm just more of a fan. My wife thinks I'm a geek, but a lot of my friends that are geek know that I'm just a fan because I don't know some of the intricate details of the show and the fandom as much as they do. But I've helped one of the first big Comic-Cons in our state open up about 5 or 6 years ago. Bangor Comic and Toy Con.
Yeah.
And I was part of the marketing team behind that. The media team, we did photos, we did video, did some graphics for them. And also I started Down East Fantasy Con for myself, because I wanted more just kid-based, family-based stuff. Not that BCTC didn't offer it, but they didn't really focus on it.
Yeah.
But looks like they're going to do more of that this fall, so we're looking forward to that. And I've been doing photo ops with them, with the stars. So the great thing of being with BCTC was that I'm always able to come in contact with these stars and photograph them, and they love me for treating them like nobodies.
Yeah, like equals.
I don't treat them any different than you.
Yep.
Because you are God. You are my. No,
I wouldn't want somebody doing that to me. That would be annoying.
Right. So one of the promotional videos I put together, Sean is going to show you.
Yeah.
Right here. So this is our outro. Do you want to say something before we leave, or?
I just want to say that this is fun. So it's non-scripted. We're gonna make notes and stuff, and things that we kind of want to touch on, but we don't want it to affect like what we're talking about. We just want to kind of bring out some of the topics that we're thinking about during the day that you guys might be thinking about.
Right.
And we definitely were like the idea of this was to get thoughts from our community and get people involved in talking and going over some of the stuff.
Right, instead of wondering or guessing. Like, I do want to end with this. Okay, be nice to each other out there. Those that we're going to have different opinions and ideas. Instead of making some past judgments about each other, call your friends and neighbors up. Talk to them person to person. You get along with them when you're not talking politics. So when something heavy arrives, just talk to them as you normally do, as friends and family.
Yeah.
And I'm sure you will come to some sort of understanding instead of making assumptions about people's thoughts and ideas.
Well, yeah, it brings me to a point, and I don't want to drive it too much, but I always view life as precious no matter what.
Mm-hmm.
Like if everybody realized what a miracle their existence just is, period, don't waste it.
Mm.
The energy that you spend arguing and stuff like that is not worth it.
So go out there, do something good, do something kind, and we'll see you back here at Average Joe Daily Show next time. And we'll send you off with a video that I did a few years ago. This is a parody from Napoleon Dynamite.